Heyo, welcome back to Cartoon Mania. Today we're going to cover the series Fairly Odd Parents from beginning to end in detail. So kick back, relax, and let's get started. The show follows the life of Timmy, a regular 10-year-old kid dealing with all the usual challenges of growing up. School, annoying bullies, and parents who just don't understand. But here's the twist. Timmy has not one, but two fairy godparents named Cosmo and Wanda. These magical beings have the incredible power to grant Timmy almost any wish he can imagine. With Cosmo's wacky personality and Wanda's sensible nature, Timmy's wishes often take them on wild and hilarious adventures. However, Timmy must keep his fairy godparents a secret from the world. If anyone finds out about Cosmo and Wanda, they would be taken away and Timmy would lose his magical support system. So he has to juggle his ordinary life while trying to keep his extraordinary friends hidden. Before Timmy was born, his parents mistakenly thought they were going to have a baby girl. So they ended up getting him girly stuff like pink clothes and accessories. That's why Timmy rocks a pink shirt and hat. They even have baby photos of him in dresses. Adorable. As Timmy got older, his dad became quite the enthusiastic videographer, recording all of Timmy's daily activities on tape. It was like having a personal time capsule of his childhood memories. But when Timmy turned 8, his parents unintentionally told a little fib that led to him being stuck with the notorious and not so nice babysitter, Vicky. And thus began Timmy's adventures with Vicky, which often turn into wild and wacky misadventures. Vicky, oh boy, she's one sneaky character. When the parents are around, she puts on a sweet act and acts all innocent, but the moment they're gone, her true colors come out. She's like a whirlwind of chaos, wrecking everything in her path and making Timmy's life a living nightmare. It's frustrating for Timmy because he's always wanted to get rid of her and seek revenge, but every time he tries, something happens that makes him realize he actually needs her. It's like a never-ending cycle of wanting her gone, but ultimately realizing she serves a purpose in a twisted way. One day, while Timmy was fed up with Vicky's antics, he chucked his lucky magic 9 ball at the wall in frustration. To his surprise, the ball opened up and out popped Cosmo and Wanda. Turns out they were his new fairy godparents, ready to grant his wishes and turn his miserable days around. Timmy's got his squad of friends: Chester, AJ, Sanjay, and Elmer. They are the unpopular kids at school, but they stick together through it all. Chester's the goofy one, AJ's the brainiac, and Sanjay and Elmer are basically a backup in case things go south with his real best friends. Despite his friends being comfortable with their unpopularity, Timmy yearns for popularity in the hopes of winning over his crush, Trixie. This desire drives him to take risks and try to fit in, even if it means making some questionable choices along the way. In the end, he manages to win her over, but it doesn't go very well. On multiple occasions, Timmy and Trixie have attempted to share a romantic moment and kiss. However, their efforts are constantly thwarted by various interruptions from different characters. It seems like fate conspires against them, making it difficult for them to have a peaceful and uninterrupted kiss. Timmy is a character with a mix of qualities. While he may sometimes come across as proud, selfish, and arrogant, he also showcases his wit, cleverness, bravery, and heroic nature. Deep down, he genuinely cares for others and can be quite loving. During his adventures that spread across 10 seasons, Timmy has used his wishes to take the role of several characters in the show. In the episode Chin Up, Timmy inadvertently exposes the Crimson Chin, a superhero character from a comic book, to the trust that he is just a fictional creation. This revelation shatters Chin's confidence and leaves him feeling defeated. To make amends, Timmy enters the world of the Crimson Chin and assumes the alter ego of Cleft, the boy Chin Wander, a sidekick inspired by Robin from Batman. In this one episode, Nega Timmy pops up when Timmy's dad tells him to do the opposite of what they say right after Timmy made a wish. Nega Timmy looks totally different from Timmy with his fangs, red eyes, pale skin, and cool cloak. He's super smart and just plain evil, which is the exact opposite of our regular Timmy. Nega Timmy has this goth-like hair that reminds me of Danny Phantom, and his eyes are all lined up in dark makeup. He almost messed up this makeup factory big time, but thankfully Timmy used his good wishes to save the day. When Timmy was just a little kid, he made up this imaginary friend named Gary. He would pretend to be Gary and have a blast playing with him. But here's the crazy part. When Timmy turned 10 and got his fairy godparents, he actually used one of his wishes to bring Gary to life. At first, Gary seemed like a cool dude, but things went downhill real fast. Turns out, Gary was pretty ticked off that Timmy ignored him once he got real friends. And boy did he make Timmy's life a living embarrassment. But Timmy wasn't gonna take that lying down. He ventured into his own mind, armed with his old toys and even a memory of Vicky, and defeated Gary. But hold on, there is more. Gary showed up again on Unwished Island, teaming up with other unwished wishes to cause trouble. They kidnapped Timmy's loved ones and set a trap for him, but Timmy, being the clever kid he is, wished up clones of himself to serve Gary and the gang, bringing peace to the chaos. In love at first sight, he really wanted to ride this crazy roller coaster called the Heartstopper, but there was one problem: he was too short. But you know what Timmy does when he's faced with a problem: he uses his fairy godparents. So he made a wish to have the body of a 16-year-old hunky teenager while still keeping his 10-year-old mind. In Mighty Mom and Dino Dad, Timmy wished his parents were superheroes like the ultimate crime-fighting duo called Mighty Mom and Dino Dad. At first, it seemed like a dream come true, but things took a turn for the worse. See, his parents got so caught up in saving the world that they didn't have any time for our poor Timmy. He felt neglected and wanted things to go back to normal. Timmy wished for their powers to be gone, but it backfired. They became so powerful and invulnerable that even magic couldn't touch them. Timmy realized he had to find a way to fix things, and that's when he came up with a crazy plan. He wished himself into this cosmic entity called Galactimus, which was like a mirror image of Marvel Comics' Galactus. With his newfound power, Galactimus easily defeated Mighty Mom and Dino Dad, and then he ordered his fairy godparents Cosmo and Wanda to remove his parents' powers, thus turning everything back to normal. Timmy Turner's dad is Mr. Turner. We don't know his first name, so everyone just calls him Dad.
Dad, you've gotta take me!
He's not exactly the brightest bulb in the box, and works at a pencil factory where he holds the position of a pencil pusher. Unfortunately, his boss, Mr. Ed Leadley, doesn't seem to have much love for him. There was a close call when Mr. Turner decided to bring his son, Timmy, to work one day. Turns out, Timmy proved to be a natural and outshined his own dad, getting promoted to vice president in just a day. As a result, poor Mr. Turner found himself in the receiving end of a pink slip, with Timmy having to do the difficult task of letting his own father go. In the episode Channel Chasers, Mr. Turner is seen working alongside Sheldon Dinkelberg in a generic office building where they have different bosses altogether. It seems like Mr. Turner is quite the workaholic, as there have been hints that he holds multiple jobs, potentially even hundreds of different ones. Back in the day, Mr. Turner used to live in a different house in Dimsdale. He wasn't called Dad back then, but we still don't actually know his real name. As a kid, he had a major crush on a girl who was known as Mom. Yeah, things get confusing. To impress her, he pulled off a big win in a marathon. If he hadn't come out on top, he wouldn't have been shipped off to dictator school, and who knows what would have happened after that. In the episode Old Man and the Sea, we find out that he never finished elementary school because a kid named Melvin told him he was too cool for it. But he wants to be a good role model for his son, so he decides to go back to school. He ends up in the same grade as Timmy, and at first, Mr. Crocker really likes him and everything, but then he starts slacking off and almost flunks out. That's when Timmy steps in and encourages him to take a big test that could save his academic career. In this crazy game show style test, Mr. Turner graduates from both elementary and high school. It's never too late to get your things straight. On the other hand, Timmy's mom is often referred to as Mrs. Turner or simply Mom. She loves her son a lot, sometimes maybe even too much. However, she can be a bit clueless, especially when it comes to Vicky, the evil babysitter. Despite Vicky's dishonesty, Mom leaves Timmy in her care so she can go off and do grown-up things. Mom's parents don't like Dad and refer to him as the son-in-law we don't like, which is why they don't visit her often. At the start of the series, Mom didn't always treat Timmy the best. I mean, there were times when she didn't exactly show him the love and care he deserved. Like that one time in the episode Boys in the Band when Chip Skylark was running late for a concert. Mom made a comment to a reporter that if Chip didn't show up soon, she would punish Timmy for no reason.
If Chip doesn't show up, I'm gonna punish our child for no reason.
You know, parenting can be quite a journey, and it seems like Timmy's parents have had their fair share of ups and downs. In the earlier episodes, they may have come across as neglectful, not giving Timmy the attention he needed. But as the series progressed, we started to see a different side of them. They became overprotective, constantly worrying about their son's safety and well-being. During university, Mr. Turner had a crush on a girl named Mom, who was dating Sheldon Dinkelberg. Of course, that isn't her real name, but her name is unknown, similar to Timmy's dad. But fate had something else in store. Sheldon hit the jackpot with his parachute pants invention and left Mom high and dry. Later on, Mom crossed paths with Dad, who worked as a janitor at the university. The two hit it off and ended up having a son together. After the breakup, Mom was heartbroken and couldn't help but shed some tears. And guess who was there to comfort her? Dad, who used his trusty mop to wipe away her tears. And sparks flew between them. They fell in love and the rest is history. But here's an interesting tidbit. Before Timmy came along, Mom and Dad were actually ghost hunters. Yep, they tried to make a living busting ghosts, but let's just say things didn't go according to plan. Can you imagine if their ghost hunting business had taken off? We'd be talking about a whole different show like Danny Phantom again. Wanda is one of Timmy's fairy godparents, and she is the one who keeps things together most of the time. While Cosmo may be a bit on the silly side, Wanda is the voice of reason in the fairy duo. She's got brains and knows how to use them, unlike some other fairies we know. Wanda might be a bit more cautious than Cosmo, but she's not immune to making her fair share of wish blunders. Sometimes she forgets to read the rules and it leads to Timmy getting into all sorts of trouble. But hey, at least she's there to bring some sanity to the chaos. Cosmo is Timmy's other fairy godparent, but boy is he not the brightest bulb in the box. In fact, he's known for being one of the dimmest characters in the show, giving Timmy's dad a run for his money in the intelligence department. Cosmo's ideas, well, let's just say they're not always the best. In fact, they often lead Timmy into trouble. Despite his best intentions, his lack of intelligence often results in chaotic and sometimes dangerous situations. You could say he's a bit of a walking disaster. Alongside his wife, Wanda, they're responsible for making miserable human children happy by granting them wishes and keeping them safe. But with Cosmo's knack for misinterpreting wishes or granting them in the most unexpected ways, things can quickly spiral out of control. It's like a recipe for havoc and hilarity combined. In the episode A Partnership, it's revealed that Cosmo and Wanda's love story started when they met at a fast food restaurant. It was love at first sight for Cosmo, and he proposed to Wanda with a chewed pen cap. Somehow, Wanda saw the sincerity in his unconventional proposal and they got married. After hanging out with Cosmo and Wanda for a year, Timmy thought it would be cool if they had a baby. But here's the twist. Cosmo ended up being the one who got pregnant. Yep, you heard that right. Suddenly, Cosmo was throwing up purple goo, going through crazy mood swings, and having all sorts of weird cravings. His belly grew big and round like he was ready to pop. It was a wild and unexpected turn of events, but let me tell you, things didn't go smoothly. The pixies and anti-fairies tried to mess things up and steal the baby, but Cosmo and Wanda were having none of it. They fought to protect their little one, and finally, the big day arrived and they welcomed their son, Poof, into the world. He was cute, mischievous, and brought a whole new level of chaos to their lives. When Mom and Dad first encountered Poof, they were smitten by his cuteness and dubbed him Super Baby. As a result, they may have unintentionally shown favoritism towards Poof, leaving Timmy feeling a little left out. Things took a turn when Mark Chang disguised himself as Poof's mom. That's when Mom and Dad realized their mistake and showed Timmy some much needed love. They even gave him a Super Beaver costume, showing that they still care about him. Sparky is one energetic and lovable fairy dog who became Timmy Turner's pet. In the episode Fairly Odd Pet, Timmy, feeling left out because everyone in Dimsdale had a pet except for him, adopted Sparky from Fairy World after being banned from all the pet stores in town. Now, Sparky isn't your ordinary dog. With his magical tail wand, he possessed dog magic that allows him to conjure up bones, fire hydrants, and other doggy delights. Some of his misadventures include afflicting Timmy's hometown with magical fleas in the episode Fairly Odd Pet, and wishing himself into a real boy in the episode A Boy and His Dog Boy. Despite his knack for getting into trouble, Sparky is a loyal and playful companion, bringing joy and a touch of doggy magic to Timmy's adventures. However, there is a darker side to this otherwise cute puppy. In one episode called Finding Emo, he pulls a sneaky move on Timmy by asking for help burying a bone in a mysterious bag of evidence. He claims it's to keep the FBI from sniffing around, and then he casually strolls away, leaving Timmy scratching his head in confusion. But wait, there's more. In Turner Back Time, it's revealed that Sparky is actually part of a secret operation called the Dog Uprising. Oh snap, I knew it! Dogs are planning to take over humans. The episode ends with Sparky's canine comrades replacing the mayor's statue with one of Sparky's himself. Talk about leaving a positive impression. And as if that's not enough, in Man's Worst Friend, Sparky surprises everyone by giving Timmy's parents a bag of money to cheer them up. Sounds like a heroic act, right? Well, when Timmy asks where the money came from, Sparky says he just found it, but something tells me Sparky might have a few tricks up his furry sleeve. And just like any other show, Fairly Odd Parents has a set of villains that appear throughout the show. Crocker is Timmy's school teacher and probably the biggest troublemaker on the show. While most adults don't believe in fairies, Crocker is absolutely convinced they exist. He's constantly ignored and overlooked by everyone around him, whether it's his colleagues or his students. Back in the day, he was a student in Dimsdale University where he worked on a study that caught the attention of some wealthy investors and military folks. But when he finally gave his speech at the university, things took a wild turn. He revealed that he had been on a quest to find fairy godparents and believed they actually exist. Well, as you can imagine, the investors didn't take him seriously and just laughed it off. To make matters worse, his girlfriend Geraldine Waxelplax dumped him right then and there. The money that could have funded his research ended up going to Sheldon Dinkelberg's parachute pants instead. And you know what? That twist of fate led to Timmy's parents getting together and ultimately bringing Timmy into the world. So, in a strange way, Crocker's crackpot theory and misfortune paved the way for Timmy's existence. But here's the twist. Despite his clumsiness, he's actually one of the smartest characters on the show. He's always questioning Tim's use of his fairies and inventing gadgets to detect magic and fairies. Unfortunately, those devices usually end up destroyed by Timmy, Cosmo, and Wanda. There was this one time in the episode Taken Fake where he almost busted Cosmo and Wanda, but he failed because of his own ineptitude, or let's just say it, blind stupidity. He thought they were just humans in costumes at a party. For a guy that believes in fairies and tries his best to catch them, brilliant. And then there's Francis, a bully at Dimsdale Elementary School who terrorizes Timmy and his friends. Thanks to the magic of Cosmo and Wanda, Francis has gotten what he deserves more than once. Not only does Francis pick on Timmy and his crew, but he's also feared by many other kids at school. They see him as this big, scary bully who's always causing trouble. However, when Timmy stood up to Francis using those you-do dolls, he became a hero in the eyes of those kids. When it comes to Francis outside of school, there isn't a lot of information out there. We do know that he's into skateboarding though. In one episode, he decided to take on a huge jump that ended up being so high that it took him the entire episode to come back down to earth. In one episode, he even stole a bunch of items from Wall to Walmart and blamed it on poor Timmy. In the episode Transparence, it is revealed that he was a vicious bulldog that eats first graders. But things took a twist when Timmy made a wish for everyone to have superpowers. Francis became a supervillain called Bull-E, using his newfound strength and bull-like appearance to cause chaos. He even joined forces with the Baby Shredder and Dr. Croctopus to take down Timmy and the other superheroes. Because all anti-fairies are the opposite of their fairy counterparts, AntiCosmo is the complete opposite of the original Cosmo. While Cosmo is silly and kind-hearted, AntiCosmo is an evil mastermind with a strong desire for power. He is ruthless in his quest to spread bad luck among humans, leading the other anti-fairies in their mischief. After escaping from Jorgen von Strangle's captivity, he and his kind relocated to Anti-Fairy World. From his castle, AntiCosmo continues to pose a threat to the fairies, ruling over the anti-fairies. And then there is Anti-Wanda, who, instead of being smart and hot-tempered like Wanda, is dim-witted and happy-go-lucky just like Cosmo. Her IQ is so low that she eats with her feet, and much like Cosmo, she foils plans without knowing what's going on. After Poof was born, Anti-Wanda and Anti-Cosmo also had a baby named Foop, which is the opposite of Poof. Wait, why didn't they name it Anti-Poof? Foop is Poof's anti-fairy counterpart and the son of Anti-Cosmo and Anti-Wanda. He's known for his mischievous nature and love for causing trouble. With his anti-fairy powers, he's quite the handful and enjoys spreading chaos wherever he goes. Despite his cute appearance, Foop is anything but innocent and is always up to some naughty antics. Foop wasn't too thrilled about sharing the spotlight with Poof, the only other fairy baby in existence. He had a serious case of sibling rivalry and was determined to take down Poof. His first move was to absorb the powerful magic of the big Anti-Wand and Anti-Fairy world, transforming the entire realm into a cute storybook land and turning the anti-fairies into adorable stuffed animal-like creatures. Once he tracked down Poof in Fairy World, Foop unleashed his wicked plans. He drained the color and magic from the surroundings, even affecting Jorgen, who was the strongest fairy in existence. Luckily, Cosmo, Wanda, Timmy, and Poof managed to escape to Earth before falling victim to Foop's mischief. The showdown between Foop and Poof ensued, with both displaying equal strength. However, Timmy and Poof noticed something crucial. Foop was exhausted because he refused to take a nap, claiming he didn't need one. Seizing the opportunity, Timmy called upon the fairies and anti-fairies who serenaded Foop with a lullaby. The magical tune lulled Foop to sleep, causing him to fall right into his mom's arms. With Foop temporarily subdued, the group scrambled to undo the chaos he had created. In a stroke of insight, Timmy realized that Foop, being the opposite of Poof, had an unexpected power. While bad things happened when Poof cried, good things happened when Foop shed tears. Acting on this revelation, Poof cunningly swiped Foop's bottle, leading him to burst into tears. Miraculously, this reversed all the damage Foop had caused, restoring everything and everyone back to their normal state. Foop's reign of mischief was cut short as he found himself locked away in a maximum security timeout playpen in Abracatraz. In the episode Playdate of Doom, Foop escaped and tried to trick Cosmo and Wanda into thinking he had changed. His plan was to send Poof to another dimension. However, Timmy outsmarted him by luring him into a playpen that turned out to be a dimensional door. Foop got trapped in an alternate universe, but he's still determined to seek revenge on Poof. Dark Laser first appeared in the episode Hard Copy when Timmy wished for a life-sized version of the Dark Laser character from Space Wars magazine. Dark Laser came to life and created an army of droids and spaceships using a magic copy machine. With the help of Cosmo and Wanda, Timmy eventually defeated Dark Laser by using a toy spaceship. He later appeared in the Escape from Unwish Island, where he joined other unwished wishes to trap Timmy. However, they eventually made a deal with Timmy to have Timmy clones on the island to serve them. In Wishology, Dark Laser was recruited by Timmy to battle the darkness and helped in the search for a powerful wand on the blue moon of Vigon. Dark Laser's access to spaceships made him a valuable asset. In Please Don't Feed the Turners, Dark Laser disguised himself as Doug Dimmadome and tricked the Turner family into believing they were selected to be the first family sent into space. Despite his numerous schemes, Dark Laser was always thwarted in the end, but he remained a formidable adversary to Timmy. So there's this group called the League of Super Evil Revenge Seekers, or LOSERS, losers. They're a bunch of Timmy's enemies who team up to take him down. It all starts in the episode When Losers Attack, when Denzel Crocker, Foop, and Dark Laser meet up at the Cake and Bacon. Their mission? Destroy Timmy Turner, of course. They come up with all sorts of plans, like smashing him with a machine or throwing him into a black hole. But guess what? Every plan fails. So they bring Vicky on board to help them out. They chase Timmy from his house to the Dimsdale Park, but they end up blasting each other instead. It's just one big mess. Eventually, they decide to fire Vicky and hire Mr. Turner to get the keys to his house. They make a comeback in the episode Return of the Losers, but let's just say their plans don't go too far. It's a never-ending battle between these losers and Timmy, but hey, that's why we love this entertaining show. So this was Fairly Odd Parents from beginning to end. If you enjoyed the video as much as we did making it for you, drop us a like, comment down below your favorite moment from the show, and subscribe to Cartoon Mania for more awesome tunes like this recapped on your feed. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace!